Alright, let's do it. So, start of the week. I usually do a weekly planning meeting on a Monday afternoon with my co-founder Tom, because he's based in Germany at the moment, so the time zone works out, but got physio today, so we had our meeting last night, which was good. Got prepped for the week. So there's a big focus now on delegating out some of the tasks that we always have to do at Navexa to really free us up to do the things that we know we need to do. And on that, this week is a big week for me, because if you've been watching along on any of my other videos, you'll know that my other business based in New Zealand is finally ready for me to start marketing, because all the integrations are done, all the contracts are signed, everything's finally in place. I thought I was going to be in this position February, and here we are in May. So it took a lot longer than I expected, but we made it. So this week I'm going to be starting marketing. So I'm going to be hitting up all my contacts. I'm going to be cold emailing. I'm hopefully going to be on a bunch of sales calls, assuming my contacts and cold emails work out. And we're going to try and sell this thing. And as soon as I can find a repeatable pattern is when we're going to start expanding the team on that one. The good thing with that one is the margins are so good that it's, even with my 2 customers that I have, it's already quite profitable. So I'll be able to start hiring people soon. I just don't want to hire anyone until I know what I'm doing. And that's kind of figuring out a few things, like who the ideal customer is for that business, because you can say, oh, it's just all car dealers in New Zealand, but there's so many kind of sub niches within that. Like, it needs to be a car dealer who does their own finance. It needs to be a car dealer who does their own finance, who uses the lenders I support. It needs to be all of that, plus the kind of tech savvy car dealers. So there's a few parameters there to really drill down into an ideal customer profile. And then it's like, well, how do you find those particular car dealers? So there's going to be a bit to it yet. I don't expect it to be super easy, but got to start somewhere and see what happens. So I expect a bit of pushback from various. The thing with this product, it doesn't have a direct competitor, because there's not like another technology product out in the market doing the same thing. But it does have other competitors in terms of different ways of doing business. So it's kind of like the approach is competing with old school approaches. Not even old school, some are old school, but just alternative approaches. So it's going to be interesting to see what the pushback is there. But the plan is, if I can get that business up and running, making money, then that gives me a bunch of money to then inject some cash into Navexa, and with that cash be able to delegate a few even more tasks to really speed up the growth and what we're doing. Because there's so many good things I could be doing to kind of increase the business. And like, as a customer, you want the product to get better and better, you want new features, you want bugs to be fixed, you want the design of the product to get better. So I need to be either working on that or have someone working on that. But then you also need support to be really good. So when there's issues, there's someone there to help with support. But then you also need growth to be happening, because without growth, the business starts to stagnate, you can't build new features, and the business dies. So there's a lot of different factors to making the business a success. It hasn't grown as quickly as I'd like it, and I think I'll probably say that forever, regardless of what the growth rate is. But we're at a good phase now where we really need to kick it up a gear and be able to expand the team to really make the product, because it's not just the product itself, like the software. It's all the supporting stuff around it. Like, what's the quality of the data? What's the quality of the support when somebody emails in? What's the quality of the information we're putting out there? So there's a lot of factors around it that need to be good. So that's kind of the state of play at the moment. And it's dark today and foggy. Barely see anything except the glowing McDonald's sign, which is good. So that's where I'm going. To the gym next to the McDonald's, not the McDonald's. So we're pulling up at the gym. I'm going to get in there. As I always say, have a good session. I'll find a car park for a start. And then we're going to come out and we're going to get back into it. So I'll see you in a moment. Alright, let's go. So, finished the session, which went really well. Can't see out of this car. So we're going back home now, ready to start the week. Super excited. Super excited about starting the week because, as I was saying, it's sales time. Sales is a skill that I really want to get better at. I've sold a ton of things in the past, mainly back at school and university. Was when I had my first sales career, and that was at school. I was selling trading cards and computer parts was my big market. And then when I left school, I was wrecking cars and selling car parts, which was pretty lucrative. It's just lucrative for a uni student. It's just really hard to scale, and you need like space to have all these car wrecks, and it's just not good. Whereas software, I don't need any physical product. It literally lives out in the ether, and I just have to get it in front of the right people and sell them on how it's going to benefit their business. So how hard can it be? Every time I've ever said that, it's been probably 10 times harder than what I thought it was going to be. So it's going to be fun. But today's going to be a busy day on the phone, I think, and emails. So I've got a lot of people I need to follow up with. Emails are great because obviously they're kind of asynchronous, so you can send someone a message and it doesn't demand an immediate reply. But that's also the downside of it, is people forget about it, or it gets swallowed in their inbox, or because it's an email, I'll do it later. So there's a few people I need to call today because I need action done. And the funny thing is last week I had one of these days where I needed to call a bunch of people. And I was like, should I call them? Should I not? And anyway, I decided, I'm just going to do it. And then what do you know? All this stuff started happening. Made some calls. People started doing things. Because a call seems, I feel, a bit more immediate, a bit more urgent. And if you can get someone on the phone to agree with their own voice out loud to you, to be like, yep, I'll get that thing done today, I think it carries a lot more weight than if somebody in an email says, oh yeah, I'll get that thing done. Because in their mind it's like, it's like Not super urgent. So phone people up today, get stuff happening, and hopefully it's going to be a productive day. The thing I'm learning most at the moment about is kind of cold outreach, particularly cold emails. And what that means, if you don't know, is a cold message or a cold call is when the person you're contacting has no idea you're going to contact. So you've probably never interacted. In fact, you've never interacted with them before, which is why they're cold. Whereas like warm outreach would be they've seen your content, maybe they've liked some of your videos, or they know who you are, but you've never interacted. So then when you email, they're like, oh, I know this guy. That's a warm outreach. Which is where the term warm intro comes from, which is when you get like a mutual contact to introduce you to someone else. Warm intro. Warm intros are obviously the best because you're going to trust someone more. If your friend says, hey, you should speak to this person about this thing. Oh, well, if you think I should, it must be good. Whereas just contacting someone out of the blue, and we've all had it, we've all had people ring us up and you answer the phone, there's like silence where you hear the call click over to some kind of foreign phone service, and someone who barely speaks English is then trying to sell you a new phone plan or something. So I definitely don't want to be that. And you can tell from when that phone clicks over, it's like they're not personally contacting me. What happens there is an auto dialer is just ringing numbers until someone answers. And when someone answers, it quickly transfers the call to the next available person. So it's really impersonal. It's really spam-like because they don't know if you even know their service. Whereas good cold outreach is you're selling something you know the other person needs or could use. So if you're selling like, I don't know, you're selling software for marketers and you ring up a plumber, they're going to be like, why the hell are you ringing me? I don't need your thing. And that's what you want to avoid. So I'm at home now. Definitely working on high leverage activities today, and hopefully in tomorrow's video I'll have some very interesting updates to tell you about my first day into cold outreach. So, like I was saying, work on high leverage stuff and get after it.